Hi guys. It is now 1:42. I am laying down. I am laying down at 2. But I just wanted to say from the previous video that I remembered how much I love making like lesson plans and that kind of thing. So I could use that as an idea too of like, this is what I want to accomplish this week or even this day or this month or whatever it is, and then make actual like lesson plans, because they're effective. Good lesson plans are effective with children, so maybe we should like adopt that for adults, these other things, these other creatures. I'm sorry, that just always cracks me up because it's like we're still a person. Like, we don't change into a new creature. We don't change into a bird, is my point. Like, you're a human your entire life, but we act like at 18 all of a sudden we're a literal different species, but we're not. So anyway, I got distracted. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna use what worked for teaching and do it for like stuff I want to do. And if you're wondering like, well, why haven't you, like, meeting me, why haven't I created the life I love? It's like I have in a lot of ways. I am prioritizing making sure my daughter, like, I'm there for my daughter. So if I had support of any kind in taking care of her, you know what I mean, or anything like cleaning, anything, then I would be, I wouldn't have to be quite as creative in figuring it out. But the point is, I'm still figuring it out. And that's why I know I can help others, because most people have a lot more just built-in support than I do. So you're just going to reach what you need even faster. And if it's like, well, I have the money, but I'm not successful in this area, I can help you be successful in that area, So, so that being said, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make lesson plans for what I want to accomplish, and that would be so cool because it'll be incremental steps, but in an organized, structured way. And that will be really good for getting the like the brainstem on board, because it'll be, we talk about with kids, like the zone of proximal development, where they're taking a step, they're moving forward in some way, but not at such a gap that it sends them backwards or that it makes them freeze, right? And that's how you actually learn, is you build upon. You don't go from 0 to 100. You just don't. And even if you do, you're now on I picture like a very thin tree, it's not very sturdy. So even though the tree is really tall and it's shot up right away, the first storm that comes, it's going to get knocked down, And now the time it's spent growing and then getting knocked down is actually more time than if it had just grown a sturdy roots in the beginning, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I am going to lay down because my daughter will be off school and I want to be there fully for her, like I said. And I'm just really grateful and proud of myself that I just keep, like I said, not just going forward, but really enriching my knowledge and my experience so that I can pass that on to help others. And just know that if I ever like won the lottery, so like money literally wasn't an issue, this is what I would want to do. Like that's what I want to do, is meet people where they're actually at and show them how, not only show them how to get to the place they want to be, but support them every step of the way. And not, like I said, not from a kind of, I'm up here, I'm the guru, but like, did you know that like the brain likes consistency, the brain likes dependability, the brain likes familiarity. So that's why if we do like a weekly call, and then we could even have like maybe a message app in between, what you're doing is you're turning the unfamiliar to familiar. So then your brain, it's like getting in the pool. You know, you put your legs in the pool. So your legs are acclimating. And especially if you know that it takes repetition, there's nothing wrong with you that it takes repetition. It takes, I guess, discipline, but not like in a negative way, but in a repetition, basically. So you're going to have the old programming pop up. You're going to. And that's actually a positive sign. Because if you weren't doing something to move forward, your old programming would have no reason to pop up, right? Like we talk about comfort zone, but it's not our comfort zone. It's our like subconscious comfort zone. That's why you could be in a really bad situation, but you feel like you can't get out of it because your subconscious is familiar with it. So your subconscious is comfortable with it. I think that's important to say too, because consciously you might not feel like you're in your comfort zone whatsoever because you want change. But your subconscious, what it's going to do, like let's say you want to lose weight, it's going to bring up every single time that you tried to lose weight and you failed. It's going to bring up any potential disadvantages of losing weight. It's going to bring up, that like one of my big things that I'm working on actively right now is if I completely heal, then people are going to be like, you never had a problem, like you made it all up. And that's not true, right? So I'm reminding myself, like, I hear you, but that's not going to stop me from healing, if that makes sense. Like I said, an Olympic athlete that's worked for, they haven't just worked for 4 years, they've worked their entire lives. So let's say 34 years, 24 years, and they finally win that medal, and then someone's just like, oh, well, that was, it'd be like if you're like, that was easy, right? So anyway, I'm saying this because I'm working with my own subconscious of like, well, people are going to be like, well, who are you to say any of that? Well, I'm someone that's on that mountain too. And I'm telling you that the reason I'm so uncomfortable is because I'm continually on that razor edge of how do I do this in a way that does not take away from my daughter, that I can enjoy, and that will be the most effective use of my, talents and things that I just naturally am good at. And there's a lot that comes up with that, but that's not my fault, just like your stuff isn't actually your fault. And even the fact that it comes up and then it keeps coming up, again, it's a good thing. It's so hard, right? Because we're hardwired the exact opposite way. But you just have to remember, like, let's say you're like a smoker, like you smoke and you want to quit smoking. The facts are that when you go to quit smoking, all this stuff is going to come up, right? So let's say you don't have a cigarette today. Well, whatever that habit was, whatever need it was fulfilling is going to come up. Like you're going to have the subconscious resistance to change. You're going to have emotions. You're going to have all these things that, are not comfortable and are unfamiliar. So then your subconscious is going to think you're not safe, But we know, like we consciously know, especially if we're not in it, that it's better for you to not have the cigarette, right? It's almost like duh, but it's not duh. Because the person that's trying not to smoke, they're not dumb either. They're not lacking willpower either. They have to rewire that. So, for instance, let's say that you smoke and you make it 2 days without smoking and then you smoke again. Well, depending on how you interpret that experience, you could end up smoking even more. You could, beat yourself up and then you soothe yourself with the smoking. Like, I think it's really important to not shame ourselves or other people because we're not weak. That's not actually true. We just need to understand who's running the show and then learn how to take those reins back and do it in a way that is not, that's why I always say depersonalize the problem so you can personalize the solution. Like, oh, this is a method that other, people have used to quit smoking. These are the, like potential obstacles to it. Come up with a game plan. Just really have a 360 understanding on it. So anyway, I am going to go lay down though because I do know that I am indeed human. And I want to keep going, but she's going to be home and then I have all that. And so anyway, love you guys.